Fabulous tennis. Sports Network, and you are watching
game. Whether he'll be in control still of the relegation playoff is a question that will perhaps be answered further down the line. Kokolava gives it across. Back again. Kokolava, the only player in the back four this evening that started the game or even played in the game on Sunday against Armenia. Kashia sends it forward. Kakabadze gives it inside. Konkava. Well kept alive and safely back to Tabidze. Just can't be kept under control by Kaczaraba. Big centre forward who plays at Lech Poznan in Poland on loan from Anorthosis in Cyprus. So we see the Estonia manager there watching on. He's worked his way up through the international ranks, coaching pretty much every level of the Estonian national team. 12 months or so in charge of the senior side, though, hasn't been too profitable. And certainly there's been an element of frustration at some of the performances in the UEFA Nations League. Kokolava sending it forward. Davitashvili. Kankava. Had two to aim at the captain, couldn't find either of them. That's an ugly challenge in the middle of the park. Play will continue just for the moment, although it's going to come back now. Kvekeskiri with the apologetic hand to the official. Easily done. Had a brace against North Macedonia earlier in the group as well. Davitashvili. Let's go back to Kashia. It's not the best clearance either by the centre-back. Sanete watching on in the wet. Might be a way to put his name in the hat for the national team job once that gets sorted out by the Georgian Football Federation. Caught a few off guard when, after the European Championships playoff loss to North Macedonia, that Vladimir Weiss came into the press conference and said that his time was up and it was the end of his run as the Georgian national team coach. Although there were some journalists that were very happy about it, a number of them walking out in protests of the press conference. There was certainly a lot of criticism about the way that that playoff game was handled, the length of time it took. Striker perhaps should have pulled the trigger himself. Estonians really struggling to get a touch in the early going here. Kusk. Possession doesn't last long at all. Kashia. A little bit of room to operate on the far side. Kazashvili. Kvekveskiri. Savitse threading it into the feet of Lobanidze. Lovely pass back in again, just couldn't pick out the run of the winger. Lobanidze just peeling away from his marker, trying to get into the space in behind. Pass was there to be played too, just overhit slightly. Good bit of vision to see the run though. Zenyov unable to collect, and once again the red shirts go back to work. It's thumped away from danger by Kusk. Kusk, who played in the last 3 games in the October international break. Didn't make an appearance on the weekend though. Back in alongside Tam. Bit of pressure now off the ball by Siviansky. Suddenly the Georgians just pinned inside their own 18-yard box in possession, but they find the outlet through Kakabadze and the captain. Kacharava unable to win the aerial battle. That's what they want him to do, to hold up play with that big physical frame that he's got. Bring in Kazashvili and others, particularly the Georgia number 8 just coming in as the playmaker just off the centre forward. So they go searching for now, but unable to bring it under. Again, another poor clearance gives possession away in a dangerous part of the pitch. Kvekveskiri moved across. Kakabadze. Kvitashvili inside. If he wants to be used, it's a throw. As the right back went to try and ping the ball in himself.
Ja, go, du es! Rein! Dosak! Merten, Baren! Merten! Dajcie go kolla!
Really good work by the little Kazashvili to get away from his marker and find a bit of space. Wants it back again, but Katarava can't find him. An effort from range, straight down the throat to the keeper, and it took 2 attempts to bring it under control by Karl Jakob Hein. Kankava striking it from distance, good bit of pace behind it. It's just a bit of movement too that made it difficult. These wet conditions as well, collecting might be tough for both goalkeepers. Side get the set piece. First real threat to Lauria's goal, perhaps. That one doesn't stay in at all. Disappointing service that from the captain. High press this time from the visitors. Get some possession back as well at midfield, although only momentarily as Sumits allowed it to run through his feet. Eventually down on the deck, but Vasilev can't be found by the young midfielder. Plenty of space on the far side suddenly for Kakabadze to try and provide a threat. Lubyanidze going nowhere with 2 around him. quickly though. It's good when there's just a little injection of pace suddenly into this game. Not the best pass from Kankava, it's helped on by Kashia. Just about finds the right back, Kakabadze, who loses it. Peak. Siniewski goes back. Certainly hasn't settled into the early going of this game, Marcus Sumitz. Only his second cap for his country. But I think they certainly want to try and establish him as some sort of a regular in the heart of the midfield. Played a fair bit of his early career in Sampdoria's youth system in Italy, having a spell in the fourth tier of Italian football as well, but now Sumitz plays his football back in Estonia with Flora in their top flight. Lovely ball over the top, and just for a moment you thought Lobianidze had been able to work that in behind, guiding his marker away from it, but again in these conditions the ball is going to really slide off the surface, and there was an easy collection for Carl Jakob Hein. Well, the Arsenal keeper not exactly showing off his distribution there. Forward by Pick. It's a great turn by Fefes Kiri. A really good pass as well into the space on this near side. Lobianidze. This time the distribution to the wing isn't quite as crisp. Davitashvili. Kankava across. Kashia, the centre-back, creeping forward. Hardly taking over the quarterback role though, as his pass was a very short one indeed, and all Georgia can do is work it back to midfield once again. Try and draw the Estonians out. That defensive shell. It's a good challenge at least by Kusk that does enough to put off Kacharava. Kankava. Once again, Kashia charged with bringing it forward. Davitashvili inside. Kazashvili. The three just behind the centre forward. Kacharava, the most likely to try and open up something. Lobianidze included in that trio. Lobianidze here just trying to lay it off on the edge of the box. Martin Kusk is the one down on the edge of the area, who was just caught, I think, by Nika Kacharava. It's just a unintentional stamp on the ankle. very clustered on the top of the penalty area there, as once more the host nation tried to creep a path forward between the blue defensive ranks. You're chasing down. Perhaps been the liveliest of anybody in the attack for Estonia so far. Barely had the ball still. Well, turned away from danger. Krida then loses it and creates all the danger. Kaczarava trying to do a little too much to find Kazajshvili. Pick. Siniavski. That attack just doesn't last at all for the away side. Lovianice. Kankava. Kakabadze stepping inside. Flag stays down on the far side. I think it was about to pop up though as Pick clears it away. Did look like Kaczarava was just towing the line a little too tightly and perhaps was offside as that ball came over the top. Tavidze. Free kick. Took a while, but the whistle was always going to come against Sumets. No need really to put the hands on with Kvekeskiri going the wrong way. Kashia. Davitashvili has to go back. I do wonder if or when an element of frustration will creep in for the Georgians as they try to unlock this very stern defence of Estonia. They've certainly come here organised and willing to throw their weight about a little bit. Again, another awkward clearance that was almost picked off. Kakabadze, as he raced to get back into position, was leeching off the defensive error of the Estonian back line. Sumets, again, it's just not coming for him the game at all. Kazajshvili trying to punish. The 27-year-old Marcus Surmets getting his nation in a whole heap of trouble, and Kazashvili almost walking through half the defence. Just dragged it, wrapped his foot around it a little too much. Would make it 2-2 as well if he found the back of the net today after scoring that penalty against Armenia on the weekend. Georgia conceding so late on to end up losing that game. It's been a problem of theirs recently. They conceded in the 90th minute to North Macedonia in the Nations League away from home. They conceded in the 89th minute against Armenia away from home back in the October international break as well. Both those two goals losing leads for Georgia late on. Could be a very different looking group if they just had their composure in the final 10 minutes of this UEFA Nations League. Touch on the edge of the area. Katarava. Best sight at goal that the centre forwards had so far. Did really well to take the sting out of the pass that came to him. Clearly looking for that far top corner. Just flying it high into the night sky. Surmets with the header forward, the closest to the ball in the last 5 or 10 minutes or so for Estonia, without really doing much. There's a chance here though as Zenyov is trying to latch onto the through ball. It's a nice little dink by the right back Teniste. Does it touch the Estonian? Guess that's Kokolava getting his own back foot. Lovely rip across field. Kakavadze. Davitashvili. Kusk not letting Davitashvili out of his sight there. Kazashvili gives it short. Kakabadze. That one's just going to run away from the teenager. Kakabadze just has it nicked away from him by Sumets. Free kick. Kvekveskiri with the sliding challenge that brought the Estonian captain down, Vasilev. Again, going to ground quickly. The follow-through is going to be a lot longer on this slippy surface. It's just clumsy and sucks the wind out of the sails slightly because Georgia were just pressing. Looked like perhaps they had a chance to win the ball back in a dangerous part of the pitch. Sumets tries to keep the move alive on the far side. Sapinen. Free kick. This is certainly a position suddenly where Estonia can get some bodies forward and try and provide a little bit of service from deep. Pick there in the background, just taking a knock as Kankava tried to run through him. The free kick is further up the field for the challenge on Sapinen. And he is perched on the edge of the 18-yard box. Kuskin, the towering Yunus Tam, up from the back. Big number 4, surely the main threat. It's in towards Kusk instead, just can't bring it under control, and that's going to ricochet away. Swing and a big slice on that from Kreda. Good press again off the ball, but once more the Georgians find a way out of it. Once again, it's through the connection of Kashir and Kakabadze. The right back lifts it over the top, and that's a free kick as Kacharava is happy to feel the contact from Yunus Tam. There's just a shove and a forearm into the back that was enough to put the centre forward off. Threatened from the same outcome. A rush strike from distance, well off the mark. Kacharava just able to bring it under control. Lozianidze. Lovely spread of the play by Kazashvili. Good ball into the box too, trying to pick out Davitashvili. It's very well played that on the far side by Sinyavski. Just kept the ball away from Kakabadze. Slightly off balance, but doing enough to win the free kick and a chance to clear it away. Kakabadze, though, has done a great job of getting forward down that right flank and supporting the attacks whenever he can. Davitashvili tending at the moment to just creep inside slightly. He's normally more of a attacking midfielder down the centre, the teenager, rather than a wide player. Kakabadze. No way out of trouble that time for Davitashvili and the right back. Despite the chase, Sergei Zenyov won't be keeping that in. Zenyov with a second chance to push it forward, couldn't quite keep control of it. Sapinen making the run off the ball as it's swept across to the opposite side by Sumits. Kakabadze bringing it forward with Davitashvili just ahead of him. The right back continues the charge. Davitashvili going alone and unable to run through Sumits. Well worked out of trouble by Vasilev. Can't find a teammate with the clip forward. Kava. See there the passes completed statistic, only 46 for Estonia. They're struggling to get a foot on the ball as Kazashvili cuts inside. Excuse me, it was Davitashvili on the far side coming inside. Kazashvili was perched on the edge of the area waiting for a pass that never came. That's come off the top of the head of Kakabadze. The Estonians will keep possession with the throw. Marcus Sumits. Kreda. Tenista. Sumits again. Needle can't be threaded by Yunus Tam. Immediately has to scamper back the centre-back. Kiri trying to ping it over the top. Quickly rebuffed. Space on the far side for Kakabadze. Second bite at the cherry too for the right back. This time he goes short. Kankava. Tavite. Losianidze. Bit of room down the centre for Davitashvili. Kazashvili. Thought about the shot, decided against it. There's no real estate at all suddenly. Just that delay, that hesitation. Killing the flow of the move. Sapinen's just been caught. The Estonian forward, 5 minutes to go, plus any stoppage time in this first half. It's a opening 40 minutes or so that has flowed very freely. No interruption like that. It's Koklava just bashing heads with Sapinen there. Shouldn't be too much stoppage time at the end of this first half. It's an impressive start to what may be a very short tenure as the national team coach for Rames Svanadze. Georgia side playing attractive football at least. They've only really been hindered by the fact that the Estonians are sticking so many men behind the ball in an attempt to slow them down. Kasia. Sapinen back on his feet and happy to chase as he closed down Kankava. Kokolava. Doesn't really help Kokolava out of his predicament of looking for somewhere to go with the ball as he got it straight back. That'll help though, just move into enemy territory as Kreda left a leg out. Kiri trying to spread the play, it's just behind. Kankava just trying to escape the attention of Siniavski. Kvekveskiri once again. It's a lovely pass. Kazashvili just can't get away from Kreda. Needs to be careful now, he's on that booking. Sapinen. It's runners in support rather than a 2-yard pass backwards. Senyov gives it inside to his captain, Vasilev. The attack has to slow down because there's plenty of the home nation's players back behind the ball now. Just took too long to develop that between Sapinen and Vasilev. Sumits. Oh, that's a sloppy pass. 1 minute of added time at the end of this first half. First half that the Georgian players will be wondering how they haven't found more attempts on goal, considering the amount of possession and where that possession has been on the pitch. So much of it inside the Estonian half. Fine. Again, a poor piece of distribution. Is there a last chance before the break? Kacharava going down. He's holding his face. There's a bit of blood as well coming from the nose. There should be the chance to take this free kick before the interval. Ran straight into the shoulder of Martin Kusk. And he too is shown a yellow card. This might be the last act of the first half then. The Estonians just need to keep their composure defensively here. Kvekveskiri stood over it. Kacharava having to go off for the set piece after receiving treatment. So the big centre forward isn't in there. Headed away by Sumets, and that is the half-time whistle. Well, in the National Stadium in Tbilisi, we are goalless at the break. Georgia have dominated proceedings in terms of possession and in terms of creating chances. Only one on target, though, coming from their captain, Yabakankava. Kazashvili has also had a couple of half chances, one where he jinked through defenders and dragged wide of the far post. But aside from that, the Georgians haven't done enough with their control of the game. And at the interval, it's Georgia 0, Estonia 0.
Tours on 27th November. Australian media here thinks that the men in blue stand no chance.
Welcome back to the National Stadium in Tbilisi, Georgia. As the Georgian national team make their way out onto the surface with a change coming at the interval for the host nation. David Kokolava being replaced by Gio Grigalava in the centre-back position. It's a like-for-like swap that won't change the system up too much. Not sure why Kokolava unable to finish the remainder of this game. But it is Estonia, the visiting nation, that get us underway for the second half in their blue shirts with black shorts, kicking from right to left, goalless after the first 45 minutes, but 45 minutes at the host. And do that as he escapes the attention of two defenders, but defender 3 and 4 catch up with him. Kankava collects the loose ball, and it's when the host nation inject a bit of life into their play like that that things start to pick up in this sometimes dour clash so far. The Estonians seem happy to try and sit back and allow Georgia to come on to them. There's been no real influence on the counter-attack by the away side. Best opportunities perhaps a set piece, but they've been few and far between so far. Kazashvili goes back. Kvefeskiri. Kankava. Kazashvili still going and able to get the shot off too. And he wasn't far away. Had to be strong. Use that low centre of gravity to keep his balance and keep possession. As the defenders just bounced and bumbled off him. It was just enough from Martin Kusk to put off the attacking midfielder. Another one just drags wide of the far post. Very similar to his effort in the first half. It went a little closer than that. But still nothing really on target from Kazashvili to test the kick. Plenty of space on this near side for Kakabadze to come forward. Support on the overlap as well, but the right back jinks inside. Closed down as Kazashvili was trying to pull the trigger quickly. Back into the box it goes, but Tam is there to steer it away from danger. Just interesting that Saba Lobzanidze has moved across to the right flank on this near side now. He was playing on this near side in the first half, going the other way. Zuriko Davitashvili, who's just brought down that. Looks like he's on that left flank on the far side at the start of this second half. Another set piece for the 28-year-old holding midfielder to ping into the box. It's going to fall here for Lobzanidze. It's just steered wide and then deflects off Artur Pick. Some of the bigger boys up from the back. Cashier in there, the number 4 centre-back. Ball in towards the near post, doesn't beat the defender. Kvefeskiri. Second chance, and that's a far more dangerous ball that dropped right into the heart of the penalty area. Back into the mixer it goes again, helped on looking for Kacharava. Too much pushing and shoving around the top of the penalty area though, as it got a little hectic. See there the shove in the back from Kasia, just putting the defender off. To have more possession and have a little more possession as well outside of their own half, which again doesn't happen after the clearance from Hein. Isn't exactly a great one. Asking a lot of Siwiawski. Kakabadze forced backwards. A rare turn back towards his own goal from the fullback. He's been so good at driving this side forward. Krigalava goes across. Pressure high up the pitch by Zenyov. Very versatile player, Sergei Zenyov. Across the whole of the front line for club and country. He's been perched out on the right wing, his favoured position, without really too much impact aside from a couple of darts forward. Here's the Estonian captain Vasilev, and again possession lasts a mere couple of passes or so. Vasilev looking across at the 23-year-old winger. Siwiawski not in the right position according to the captain. Safety first from Pick. Wasn't sure about what was behind him, either to his left or to his right, as he decided to steer it away to prevent Lovenite from getting on. Kvefekskiri straight into the heart of the box once again. It's scooped on though by Vasilev at the top of the area. The corners for Georgia starting to provide a little more of a threat. Don't tend to score a bag full of goals, this Georgia side. Only in the game away at Armenia in the 2-2 draw did they score more than... Could look very different indeed in terms of their status in it. Free kick as Kankava's bundled over. Another chance for the big men from the back to come up. Kacharava in there as well, of course, in the crowd of things. It was in towards Kasia but headed away. Sapinen, bit of space. Support on the overlap. There's a bit of space on this near side as well if they can work their way across. That's exactly what Vasilev tries to do. It was the right idea, but again, the execution just not quite there. Siwiawski looking frustrated as that pass just slid behind him. To Pick, one of the experienced players in this Estonia starting lineup, over 40 caps now for his country. It's a good mix, really, in the starting 11 as they start to bleed in some of the younger players. Still got the experienced heads of the captain Vasilev and Zenyov and Pick. Ball inside to Kreda, but that was ignored. So number 5 had moved into a nice little pocket of space in the middle of the park. Instead, Hein goes long looking for Pick. He doesn't get the touch, and it's out of play for a throw. Pick. Kreda. Siniavski loses possession, just he finally got it down at his feet in a promising position on this near side. The host nation start to come the other way. Lobzianidze on this near side, waiting for a pass that again never came as Davitashvili took it on too far on his own. Sumets gets it back, the youngster, if he can get onto it, just ran slightly too far. Kazashvili. Well played by Kreda, forcing him backwards. Good defensive work off the ball from Estonia there. Try and snuff out the opportunities for the little midfielder to try and create something. Limit the space, limit his opportunity to turn and face goal. And there's Loria, who has had a very easy evening so far. Perhaps got a touch casual with his control there. Kankava collecting the loose ball. Kakabadze still might find Davitashvili, who's switched back across to this near side. Rush from the keeper, very rushed and slightly erratic, looking for Vasilev. Given away by Kreda just as you thought there was a chance to try and orchestrate something. Composed control and options further forward, but again the ability to maintain that control is still so lacking right now from the Estonians. It's a good little zipped pass into Davitashvili. Kakabadze looking to try and it's Sumets who receives the yellow card. As for that, just a little bit of afters from the midfielder. Continue to hold on to Davitashvili as well. Lovely combination of Kakabadze and Kaziashvili. Kazashvili again. Drills it across goal. Just needed a touch from Kacharava. It's a touch that never came.
You can take the ball, take it, throw it.
Confirmation of the yellow card there for the young midfielder. His second cap for Estonia is probably going about as well as his first did against Italy last week in the friendly. It's a game, of course, where Estonia, as you'd expect, were completely outmatched, but again, it was a game that just never came to the midfielder in terms of feeling in stride with it. In stride with this is Kakabedze. Kacharava turning and thought about pulling the trigger, goes to his right back instead. Cleared away, but back across the top of the 18-yard box. Can carve. Sapinen doing well, not quite well enough, just overran it. It's been a very tough hour or so for the Estonian centre forward. He's been in wonderful form, Rano Sapinen, in the domestic campaign for Flora in Estonia. Failed to score in just 4 of the first 22 games of the season. He's gone on a little dry run since then. Be at least pleased to have found a goal on Sunday against North Macedonia. In the same way that coaches will say that winning breeds winning in whatever game you're playing, centre forwards always feel that scoring leads to more scoring. If they get in the flow, regardless if it's a friendly or international competition or domestically. Doesn't look like he's going to have too many chances tonight, though, Sapinen. Well worked on the far side as Tenista continued the charge. The fullback will launch this one into the box. It's only really Sapinen to aim at if he's going to try and wing it as far as he can. Doesn't go too far. It does fall to the edge of the area. Struck by Pick, but he was just off balance and isn't really renowned for his scoring prowess. Just one goal for his nation in 40 plus caps. Does like to get forward when he can, Arta Pick, but it's more to provide the goals rather than score them himself. Well won by Sumets. Kazashvili, Davitashvili. Georgia have certainly seen more from their opposition in this second half already than they did in the opening 45 minutes in terms of putting pressure on their defensive line. Davitashvili just about able to collect. Might fancy going alone, he lays it off instead. Kazashvili! That was a scuffed one. Wanted it on his right boot. If he'd been brave and taken it with the left, he would have had a little more space. Decided to cut back at a small window. Davitashvili gets set to come off it. Papunashvili coming on to replace him. Georgi Papunashvili, who plays his football in Spain with Real Zaragoza in the second tier of Spanish football. Certainly a natural right winger by trade, perhaps unlike Davitashvili, who, as I said earlier, likes to play a little more down the centre. Sapinen too likes to be inside the 18-yard box rather than on the edge of it. But Estonia have a corner. Rare opportunity to threaten him. Plenty up from the back. Tam is in there. Wasn't anywhere near him. Pick sends it back into the box though. And it's always rising from Siniavski. Kusk. Pick. No support short, except for Siniavski, who came bursting backwards to try and help out, but it was too little too late. Here he is now, finding his left-back Pick. Nice little pass round the corner and a good 1-2, but it was too close to Kankava. Oh, one in the heart of the pitch, Sapinen. 3 defenders really ahead of him and he's forced wide. Kasia doing really well there. Just steering the centre forward well away from danger, winning possession back. 20 minutes to go, just under, plus any stoppage time. One of these sides to try and save some face. Lovely pass to Kakabete. Just a heavy touch from Kazashvili. Was well found as well as he made his way into the 18-yard box. Kvekveskiri. Papanashvili. Substitute gets it back again. Bit of room on this near side if Kakabadze can be found. Kvekveskiri once again. Slow and patient from those in red. Just looking for some off-the-ball movement into some sort of space. The Estonians aren't exactly being dragged anywhere. Kankava. Kazashvili goes wide. Good floated ball into the box, looking for Kakarava, but cleared away. Sapinen. Just bounces away off the defender from Zenyov. Kazashvili. Lobzanidze. Papanashvili fancying a go himself, palmed away by the keeper and almost straight out to Sava Lobzanidze. Estonians clear the danger and try to launch an attack of their own. Siniavski tussling and tumbling and nothing given when both players had a fistful of jersey. Papanashvili does well to escape. Neat triangle work, but it all just got a little erratic in the end. And that's still in play. The Georgians quick to retake possession and regroup. Lovely step by Kankava. Kakabadze. Again, it's just the final ball that can't find the final target. Kacharava was waiting patiently. This is the hit from Papanashvili. Just sliding and skipping up off the surface. Wasn't exactly steered away from danger either by the keeper. He's only a teenager, Hein. He's got a lot to learn. Pick. Estonia struggling to get out of their half once again. We've seen this before, but without them being punished. Sapinen can't win possession back. Play will continue as Kazashvili is able to bring it under control. Davidze this time on that left flank, the left fullback able to come forward. He wasn't used. That's a good hit, and just wide from Kazashvili. Just a bit of room again opening up. Again, it's off target. The accuracy as he tried to bend it in to that far bottom corner, just not there. Of course, Estonia waiting to find out who they will play in March in the relegation playoff. It'll either be Cyprus or Kazakhstan, both of those two sides finishing on the bottom of their groups. It's still not decided between Kosovo and Moldova. Although you would imagine it will be the Moldovans in Group 3. All of those teams, you do give Estonia a chance of staying in League C for the UEFA Nations League. Kankava falls back. Kashi, a little bit of impetus in it. Kazashvili just slipping in the conditions, didn't help him at all. There's free space on the far side. Zenyov thinking about going alone here. Zenyov, well, into the microphone behind the goal rather than the side netting or even on target. Made it sound more impressive than it actually was, the effort. Had nobody in support really. All he could do. Lovanidze coming on, replacing Kacharava. Pavel Marin coming on for Estonia. Replacing the man who's just fired behind goal, Zinyov. Trudges his way back to the bench. Martin Miller replacing the youngster Marcus Sumets. Change their fortunes going forward at all, and controlling the battle in the middle of the park a bit more, Estonia. Miller with a fair bit more experience than Sumets. And he just came back into the national team though, did Miller, after pretty much a 12-month absence from involvement. It was back in October, but he played in the friendly against Italy. Came on off the bench on Sunday as well in the UEFA Nations League. Sapinen providing the pressure. 10 minutes for Estonia to hold on to a result that was a fairly good one for them. 0-0 draw to wrap up the group, but away from home. lost their other 2 games on the road in the UEFA Nations League in this group. Lozanidze sent it into the box. Whistle blown as Eluja Lobjanidze is the offender inside the area. Too eager for his first real involvement, the 28-year-old centre-forward off the bench, to score for his country. Lilander coming on for Tenista. At least that one stays in play, but it's over the head of the intended target, Siniavski. It's a lovely ball. Lobjanidze lays it off. Passes behind everybody from Kakabadze. Vasilev can't run through his man. Kashia's done really well. Some key moments. Don't look like much, but that, for instance, just composed and sure in making the challenge. And they force Sapinen wide on the far side of the field, and just in general mopping up at the back. The centre-backs come in and done really well. Drifting off slightly as Sapinen collects. Siniavski has 3 in the box to aim at, 1 waiting on the edge of the area as well. And tries to get the free kick, which he doesn't. Kakabadze certainly with some contact, but not enough to warrant blowing the whistle. Lovely touch by Miller in the middle of the park. That's the bit of quality that's been lacking in that midfield. Look at the room it's suddenly providing. This has been the dangerous time, as I said, for Georgia in the UEFA Nations League, conceding late on. Won't want to switch off now. Trader. No free kick, can cover. Deemed fair with the challenge, even though he seemed to certainly impede the Estonian midfielder. Lobjanidze trying to weave his way across and find the space to shoot when perhaps a pass would have been better out to this near side. Sapinen needs some support. Only got the elder legs of the 36-year-old Vasilev so far. Trying to do a little too much perhaps, the forward, as he's once again kept at bay by Kashia. Mikaladze comes on. Another centre forward to throw on as they go looking for goals. Lozanidze comes off. Changes as well coming for Estonia as Siniavski comes off. Livac comes on. Sapinen makes way for the most controversial call-up in the Estonian national team, Henri Anja. There's a whole palaver with the Estonian Football Association and his club side paid. His club manager saying that he felt that Kirill Vuled had made the whole team look unpatriotic when they certainly made an objection about the fact that their forward was being called up, not wanting to lose him to any problems with the international break, be it injury, COVID or otherwise. In the end, he was just late joining the squad last week. Does he have the key, though, to unlocking the Georgia defence in the final few minutes? Here he is. Anja's first touch isn't great. One back by Crader in the middle of the park. Lilander. Hein goes forward. It's a perfectly weighted pass out to Livac. And again, Livac trying to cut inside, and he's gone straight through Kasia. Nasty coming together for those two. Was looking to step inside the centre-back. He was leaning and left his head and upper body in there. Back up and wanting to get on with things, but he's also gone into the referee's book as well, Kasia. Well, he says that he couldn't avoid the coming together. Certainly looked like he tried to leave his body in the way. As Svanadze looks on. Kusk and Co up from the back, whipped in by the captain. In towards Tam, but even he, towering above so many, couldn't get onto it. Headed away that time by Lovanidze. It's going to bounce all the way through. A chance for Kusk, perhaps. The right time, but the wrong man, really, for Estonia. It's a difficult one to bring under control, and a centre-back that high up the pitch, certainly not used to the altitude of being so high up. And perhaps just losing his head slightly. So he now takes a blow to that head, coming together with Mikaladze. 90 seconds plus any stoppage time remaining. Still might be a late goal in this one. And the correct decision that the flag was raised on the far side. Estonia would so love to keep a clean sheet away from home. Such a rarity, their last one coming back in the European Championship qualifiers in October 2019 in Belarus, as Livac is brought down, and Kasia's just got to be careful here in the final few seconds. Let's do the Georgia defence. After all his good work so far, it's a really clumsy challenge. Vasilev stood over this. 3 minutes of stoppage time to play. A goal now will be perfect for Estonia. It's teased towards the far post. There were two arriving. Kusk was one. The other was Miller. Actually thought it was Miller, the most likely, the deepest of the two to get onto it. Strong header by Tam. Free kick as Miller is penalised for the aerial challenge, going right over the top of Kankava. Looking around on the top of the 18-yard box, and then free kick given as Miller was down. Estonia tries to take it quickly, and Kankava is straight onto the loose ball and giving it straight back to the opposition. Doesn't that just sum up the evening for both sides? Vashilev sending it forward. It's Anya who's trying to scamper onto things, but Kasia deals with it once more. Kazashvili, who's been quiet in the final few moments. Maybe he's run out of steam. Certainly hasn't been given the opportunity to create. Marin sends one into the box, and he tries to flick it on. That looked like a corner. Kasia's excellent night's work just starting to unravel slightly. Will the same be said about his side? Maybe the last chance of the game here for Estonia to steal a win. Plenty forward. And there's Tam in the heart of things. It's over his head. Kusk was the intended target but couldn't get onto it. How many stay forward as it's thumped back by Lilander? And Kusk penalised, and that may well be that. That is the full-time whistle. The UEFA Nations League for Georgia and Estonia finishes with a bit of a whimper, the group stage at least. Georgia, after suffering the heartache of the loss in the European Championships playoff last week, unable to salvage anything from their final two games. Really a disappointing 0-0 draw on home soil for the host nation, in a game that they controlled possession but didn't create enough chances. Just two on target in the end. The best efforts really coming for that man, Valery Kazashvili. For Estonia, it's a rare cliche on the road that brings the end of Karel Vuled's tenure with the national team. Finishes Georgia 0, Estonia 0.
दे सबको हाँ अपना रंग है हिंदुस्तान निकले नीला हाँ अपना रंग है हिंदुस्तान. It's time to show cricket's true colour. After 9 months, Men in Blue will lock horns with Australia. Start on 27th November, 8 AM onwards. Only on Sony Sports Network. Co-presented by My 11 Circle. Make your team and play with champions. Vimal, Bolo Zuba Kesri. Byju's Classes. Book a free trial session today. And Maruti Suzuki. In association